Hello and welcome to my presentation. My name is Neil Marshall, and I will be presenting an analysis of United States life expectancy for the Data 620 class taught by Dr. George Cross for the University of Maryland Global Campus. We will be using data from 2010 to 2020 to answer the following question. Which state will lead the US with the longest life expectancy in 2030? As someone who works in the healthcare industry, what better way to gauge the success of your industry than by evaluating the average life expectancy across states? The two maps on the screen now show the average life expectancy by state in the year 2010 and 2020. Areas with darker shades have a longer life expectancy and the lighter shades have shorter ones. When comparing the two maps side by side, it is clear that the average life expectancy throughout the United States was lower in 2020. This motion chart walks us through the average life expectancy of the top three states from 2010 to 2020. The significant drop in the average life expectancy in 2020 is the result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The effects of the pandemic permeated across all states, as was shown in the map from the previous slide. I've chosen to exclude most of the 2020 data from the forecasting visuals in the coming slides, as 2020 was an outlier year. In this chart, Hawaii leads the way with a peak life expectancy of 81.9 years in 2019. California has the second longest at 81.5 years, and New York comes in third with 81.4 years. In this slide, we forecast out our original data set to the year 2030. The forecast model here uses an additive trend and multiplicative seasonality. While Hawaii led the pack in 2019, our forecast projects Hawaii to have the shortest average life expectancy of the three states in 2030. New York surpasses both California and Hawaii by the year 2027 and remains the state with the longest life expectancy through 2030, with a projected life expectancy of 82.6 years. I believe this is a reasonable forecast when you consider the contributing socioeconomic and health factors. The line graph here analyzes the overall health of each state by looking at the percentage of the population with fair or poor health. The data is grouped into two different time periods, 2010 through 2014 and 2015 through 2021. The relationship between health status and year is complex, so a polynomial trend line best fit the data. Grouping the data into two distinct time periods was important for this data set because the trend lines between the two were significantly different. From 2015 to 2019, Hawaii is the only state with an increasing percentage of the population with fair or poor health. Despite having the lowest percentage from 2011 to 2019, Hawaii is trending towards the highest percentage in years to come. This increase in poor health over time could negatively impact the overall life expectancy of Hawaii. Another socioeconomic factor that can influence the average life expectancy of a population is poverty. This visual looks at the percentage of population in poverty across the years. Like our previous visualization, this one is also grouped into two distinct time periods. Once again, the trend lines between each period differ significantly. There was less variance year over year in this dataset, so a linear model was used for trending. From 2015 to 2019, both New York and California are trending down at a much faster rate than Hawaii. Despite having a lower percentage of its population in poverty, Hawaii's trend line nearly flatlined, while New York and California show no signs of flattening out. The data would suggest that both New York and California would have a lower percentage of its population in poverty over time. A less impoverished state could afford a healthier lifestyle. They could buy higher quality foods and may have access to better health care. This healthier lifestyle could extend one's life expectancy given time. This area chart compares the percentage of each state's population at a healthy body weight from 2011 to 2021. During this time period, the percentage of the population at healthy body weight between all three states was comparable. Although the difference is slight, both California and Hawaii's healthy body weight percentage is trending downward at a faster rate than New York. Per the CDC website, health risks associated with being overweight include all causes of death, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, among other things. These increased risks would definitely reduce overall life expectancy. Go back to the question I posed at the start of this presentation. Which state will lead the US with the longest life expectancy in 2030? The answer is New York. The references used to compile this analysis can be found on this slide. Thank you for listening.